There's no way of knowing for sure that we haven't been completely fooled that we're living a real life and we're not in some kind of virtual reality game. Technology has advanced to the point where the line between what's real and what's not has begun to get blurred. You might think the thoughts inside your head belong to you, but how do you know that you're the one that's in control? From new technology that can read your mind to parallel universes, here are facts that will make you question reality. Star Wars: The Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect basically plays tricks on your mind and can possibly cause you to really question what's going on planet Earth. Have you remembered specific details about important events, but then it turns out that those events or details are all wrong? Mistakenly recalling events that have never happened can be for some evidence of time travel, or that we're all living in some kind of matrix that we can't escape. A famous example of this is commonly misquoted from the Star Wars film, "Luke, I am your father." Many people remember hearing those exact lines, but as people began to rewatch the movie, they realized that Darth Vader was actually saying, "No, I am your father." UFO sightings across the US. UFO sightings certainly exist in modern times, and between 2001 to 2015, there have been roughly 120,000 recorded UFO sightings in the US. During that period of time, California reported the most sightings, with 3,200 total. And come on, if you're an alien with a spaceship, you probably want to check out the Earthlings and their swimsuits there as well. The author of the book called UFO Sightings Desk Reference, United States of America, 2001 to 2015, claims that the media rarely wants to report these kind of sightings. They often worry too much about being ridiculed. Could all these people out there just be completely delusional, or is there something else we don't know about? Number 14. The Balloon Dog. It might just look like an ordinary orange balloon dog to you, but many might see it as a masterpiece. This creation by Jeff Koons managed to sell for an astonishing $58 million in 2013. Who has money for that kind of thing? We won't know who exactly because it was from an unknown telephone buyer, but that's some serious cash for modern art. Number 12. List of missing people. Wikipedia has done a fairly decent job of documenting many moments in history and basic information on various topics. There is a huge list out there of people who mysteriously vanished from the face of the planet, with the very first one dating back to 531 BC. The very first person to disappear, according to Wikipedia, was a Chinese man named Laozi, who was actually the founder of the Buddhist denomination of Taoism. He left China to go into the wilderness on the back of a water buffalo and was never seen since. More recent decades are much more detailed, and you start to appreciate the fact that you're not actually mysteriously missing. The list is extremely long, and it's crazy to think how many people just vanished from the face of the planet. Were any of them possibly abducted by aliens, or possibly time travelers? Who knows? Number 11. Kylie Jenner is a billionaire. If you weren't sure if you were living in a virtual reality or not, here's something to think about. Kylie Jenner is now officially a billionaire and will never need to work for the rest of her life. Kylie Jenner's purse closet is probably worth more than your life, too. Her makeup brand, known as Kylie Cosmetics, made an estimated $360 million in 2018, and the company itself is worth over $900 million. Her Instagram has over 137 million followers. There's quite a bit of controversy over this, and we're wondering if there's any hope for humanity. Some sources say she was a self-made billionaire and it drew a lot of criticism. Despite being born into a wealthy family and having her father being a professional athlete, she seems to have made it the easy way. How does Hollywood insist on making such people so famous? She's inspiring many young Instagrammers across the world, and she's barely legal to drink. Number 10. Wormholes. Scientists are beginning to wonder the possibility of traveling to other strange parts of the universe with the discovery of wormholes. If theories about the universe are correct, and the universe is curve-shaped, then there could be some way to take a shortcut to the other side. The wormhole is almost like a tunnel to get to the very distant part of space in a much shorter period of time. Since our perception of time is so closely connected with space, it's believed that these wormholes could travel to a whole different period of time as well. They are powered by areas with intense gravitational pulls. If somehow people are able to harness the energy of these potential wormholes, it's going to take a lot of brain power and someone willing to see what happens. It's a pretty complicated topic, so feel free to explain this in the comment section. We'd like to hear your thoughts. Number 9. Artificial banana flavor. Do you ever remember trying an artificial flavored banana food and think to yourself, hey, this doesn't taste like bananas at all? Why'd they make it taste like this? This isn't reality. Well, it turns out that it's actually what bananas used to taste like 50 years ago before they were wiped out by a banana zombie apocalypse in the mid-1900s. The fungus wiped out a large variety of bananas, such as the gross Michael banana, and left us with the less flavorful Cavendish banana. Basically, what you're eating is an artificial replacement of an extinct species of fruit. When will Top Ramen come out with mammoth-flavored noodles? Who knows? Number 8. Number of exoplanets. Proxima Centauri b is the closest known exoplanet and is located in our galaxy. A number of scientists collaborated and believe that they spotted some signs of oxygen, water vapor, and methane. Another exoplanet, Kepler-22, is twice the size of Earth, but almost completely covered in water. Scientists don't actually know for sure if it has liquid water because it's about 620 light-years away. But that's not all. Now imagine our solar system with 7 different Earth-like planets all lined up right next to each other. It is certainly a reality, and in 2017, not just 1 or 2 Earth-like planets were discovered, but an astonishing 7 exoplanets, all orbiting the same star named TRAPPIST. In case you're wondering how far it was, it's about 235 trillion miles away from planet Earth. There are roughly 2,300 exoplanets that we know about at the moment. Number 7. The Assassin Bug. This vile assassin bug is just a complete savage, end of story. Anything that carries around what's left over of its enemies is not something you want to mess with. That's basically what it's doing here in this photo. There's over 20 ants on the back. The bug injects its victims with a lethal saliva that liquefies the internal organs of its enemy. They love feasting on cockroaches when they get the chance too. It's also extremely dangerous to humans, mainly because they carry the chagas disease and they tend to bite people in the face. Chances are you won't be too pretty after this thing gets a hold of you. You have to ask yourself, why does this even exist? Number 6. Human DNA and bananas. Would you believe that more than half of our DNA and genetic material is shared with bananas? If you're eating a banana right now, you might as well consider yourself to be about a 60% bloodthirsty cannibal. Ever since the human genome was first sequenced in 2003, comparative genomics have shown that we have a lot in common with this potassium-rich fruit, as well as other things. Things known as housekeeping genes are needed in many different organisms for basic cellular function and are shared by many different animals. However, bananas contain more DNA than many other foods. Number 5. The McRib. Is this sloppy sandwich actually made from real meat? Or is it some type of edible concoction that's made in a laboratory or even by aliens? It turns out there's over 70 different ingredients in this thing. Some that may surprise you. Parts like pig heart, tripe, and scalded stomach are found in the meat, and then some other crazy chemicals to top it off. There's azodicarbonamide, ammonium sulfate, and other hard words to pronounce, so you get the point. It almost seems like it's made from every part of the pig except the ribs. It's intentionally shaped like that to fool the customers. The pork meat is apparently chopped up and then formed into the shape, which takes about 45 minutes for each slab. Some rumors out there claim the McRib actually contain meat from kangaroos, but that's not the case. Despite all its mysteries, it's remained a crowd favorite, and there's even a website out there called McRib Locator that allows you to track the closest McDonald's location selling the McRib. Number 4. The Suriname Toad. Found deep within the swamps of the Amazon and French Guiana is a trypophobe's worst nightmare. This is what's known as a common Suriname toad, and the little baby toads literally pop out of the mother's back from little holes. The mom releases 3 to 10 eggs, which are embedded into the skin. As the egg continues to grow, the little babies spring forward, coming out in a very peculiar fashion. This is the stuff nightmares are made from, and you might have to ask yourself, is this reality? Number 3. Turtle out of a shell. We've always imagined turtles being covered inside a sturdy protective shell, but what would you do if it looked like this thing? You'd probably think that it was photoshopped or something, right? This turtle actually shares a resemblance to a mutated pizza and is what's known as a hideous soft-shelled turtle, which literally lives in Indonesia. This strange creature only has to breathe every 12 hours. What planet did this thing come from? Number 2. Trapped inside a mouse. Imagine your consciousness trapped inside a mouse. Researchers at the Salk Institute at La Jolla, California have found a way to have human brain cells inside the head of a mouse. Imagine what mice could be capable of with the same intelligence of humans. They do this by injecting embryonic human brain cells into the brains of fetal mice while they're still inside the womb. This took place in 2005, and it turns out it was a success. They were able to create mice with human brain cells inside their skull. About 100,000 human brain cells were injected, and it seems to show that human stem cells can interact with various environments. They claim that the mice's behavior didn't change too much, but you have to wonder what's going on inside its head. Could this be the mouse from the Pinky and the Brain cartoon show? Number 1. Telepathically controlled robots. DARPA is currently working on a helmet that utilizes telepathic capabilities. It's been dubbed as the Magnetic Optical Acoustic Neural Access Project and doesn't require surgery. It will require users to undergo some gene therapy, which will allow for some neurons in your brain to absorb light. Infrared inside the helmet will detect what areas of the brain are being activated. It's a little bit more complicated than just that, but how long will it be until our very own voice inside our head is under surveillance by Google or the NSA? So which one did you think was the most mysterious? Let us know in the comments section and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video.